Hey everyone, I've got Slava from ev.com.au. Hey Slava, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Tom.
Hey. So EV is a electric vehicle car sharing platform.
That's right.
Can you explain to us a little bit what it's about?
Yeah, so we started the platform in 2016, and we basically allow existing owners of electric vehicles rent their cars out through the platform, and allow people who want to rent or try one or get one when they're traveling to obviously get that vehicle. So essentially helping the owners to offset the cost of ownership, and at the same time travelers to drive electric cars in Australia.
How many cars have you got now across Australia in your fleet?
We've got 25 that are actively rented out, and we've got overall over 40, but some of them are, people just lease them and try it out, but they're not actually that actively involved. Yeah.
So we've had a video from Josh from WA explaining why
that's right.
he is an owner. It was a really good video, and I think explained why it's good to share electric cars or share a Tesla on your platform. So we've got a special treat today for you, Slava. We've got a couple more owners to give their testimonies on why they lease their cars on ev.com.au, and we're going to watch them and get your reaction.
Yeah, and that will be first time for me, so I haven't seen it yet, so it will be a total surprise. We'll see how we go.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Alan. I have the Standard Range Plus Model 3 in white, as you can see.
Yeah, Alan was actually the very first person who got in touch and listed his car in Australia, across Australia, before receiving his car. He actually was in touch with us, probably a couple of years prior to that, but only really pulled the trigger on an electric car when the Model 3 arrived.
Like even before deciding to buy, I wanted to find a way to reduce the price, because I couldn't justify the whole price of the car. I don't even drive to work, I take the train. So I didn't really need a car, but I really wanted a Tesla. So my way of not just justifying, but also convincing my wife that it wouldn't be so expensive is that I would rent it out and bring the cost down. So that was the whole idea. So from the start, listing it on EV, I knew Slava before from a few years ago, and I already had this idea kind of prior to buying the car.
Yeah, we should probably do it as our motto: convince your wife, right?
I think that should be Tesla's motto in general.
Quite a few, I think 5 or 6, I think now. Yeah, it's been going very well. Since the car is new and many people want to just try it out. It's not being available before in Australia, and I've been getting pretty much one after the other. I think if I had a second car, maybe I could rent it even more, because there's been a lot of demand. I had one rental for a whole week, but most of them are 3 days, 2 days. I would say the average is about three days.
Yeah, because actually that's across the board correct. The longest rental we've had so far was I think 21 days. Wow. That is the longest. Yep. And that is the person who actually traveled 5,500 kilometers in that time.
Wow.
All across the East Coast.
That's amazing.
But average it is about 3 days that people take it for.
So I listed for $250 a day, and there's a insurance fee that the customers pay. But what I get is about 180. Don't know the exact number, because there is the percentage that goes to EV, which is totally worth it, because they do a really great job managing everything, and I don't have to worry about anything else. So it's really good.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Alan. But yeah, this is the only fee we charge, is the 25% commission on confirmed bookings. Listings are free. The only thing you need to worry about, Alan might talk about it later, is the insurance. But yeah, we also have that sorted.
Really, really positive. Yeah, people love the car. They've been writing very good reviews, which I'm very happy about it, all 5 stars. So for now, and all of them have been really nice people, nice, friendly Tesla enthusiasts. So it's been a great experience so far.
Yeah, that's another important thing when you're renting out a Tesla. Mostly people who want to take that car, they would have researched. They know what they're going for. It is a Tesla. It is an electric car. They're mostly respectful in how they treat your vehicle. So yeah, we haven't had any major issues in this regard so far. I mean, it doesn't exclude they would happen in the future, but so far, generally, people are very respectful of electric vehicles.
Well, if you're thinking about it, then I would say go for it. It's like, for me, so far, I hadn't had any problems. Like, people treat the car very well. I know some people are really, like, even my brother told me, no, don't you worry that people are gonna trash your car, people are gonna treat it not so well. But it's really like, people that rent this car, they like it as much as you, and they understand that it's a personal car. It's not like from a company that you're just like on a big fleet of cars that they don't care about. It's a car that belongs to someone, and they really, I think they really respect that.
Well, he just confirmed what I said. So
Yeah.
that's great.
No, he seems like a very happy
Yeah.
owner.
Yeah.
And you were saying before, like 3 days is the average rental.
Yes.
Is that generally on weekends or weekdays?
Yes, mostly weekends. I'd say that's right. Because people, those who just want to try the vehicle out, what it's like, they take it on a 3-day for a road trip.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, sometimes international travelers or local travelers, they would take it for a week, 10 days. Those people who have changed their mindset already. They don't want a petrol vehicle. They only drive electric. There's a growing group of drivers. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
So we've got another owner here, Ben from the Gold Coast, who also lists his car on ev.com.au.
Yeah, whom I haven't actually met personally, but he's a sustainability consultant as well as an electric vehicle owner. So the experience renters have been getting with him is very much thorough, because he knows a lot, not just about electric cars, but about renewable energy, sustainable living, etc.
Perfect. All right, let's watch his testimony.
Hi, my name's Ben, and I've been renting my Tesla Model X 75D for about 6 months now, and I've had about 8 rentals. Of those, half of them have been for a couple of days and the other half have been for about a week. It's been fairly easy to do so. The platform that I go through, called evee.com.au, is fairly easy to manage, and the owners can go in there and adjust things anytime they want, which only takes a few seconds. For example, blanking out days when you want to use it privately for a few weeks if you're going away on holiday with it. It's probably the only platform I'd consider using. There's 1 or 2 others around that are starting up, but EV's been around the longest, and they've got all the insurance and everything else sorted, so that's been a real comfort.
Yeah, so that's, I'd say, the main thing. We have everything looked after. It took us a very long time to sort out the insurance, specifically for Tesla and other electric vehicles, but now it's done. And we've also managed to reduce the price of that insurance, so it is fairly accessible for the owners.
Feedback from renters has been really positive. People love the speed of the car and all the little features inside it, especially the dancing car feature. A lot of young kids, especially males, the teenagers sort of love it, and they know more about it than their parents, which I think is pretty ironic. But the feedback's all been really positive, and they just have a great time in it and find it very smooth and easy to drive. I think it's just a really clever car that's also very safe, and I think the renters get a lot out of it, because I've had a number of people coming saying back, that's it, I'm definitely buying a Tesla now. Maybe not instantly, but in the next few months they're going to start looking. Some of them are also waiting for later models to come through.
Yeah, well, that is amazing. That is essentially what we're trying to achieve, to increase the uptake of electric cars. And from what we know, until we were tracking this a bit more closely, now over 10 people, over 10 renters have switched to an electric car. I'm sure the figure is actually double or maybe triple now, because we just lost count, because the number of owners increased and they use their own referral codes, so we can't track it that closely, but certainly that figure is there. And it makes a difference, especially with an electric car, having a test drive versus taking it for a few days, because people really want to see, is it going to work for my commute, is it going to work charging at home, all this little details.
I think you're right. Like a test drive, you've only got half an hour at best, and you're kind of awkward because you've got the rep next to you. You've got to want to be careful with the car, but obviously with an EV car, you want to be careful too. But at least you've got more freedom to explore a bit more your surroundings and your commute, as you said. Yeah, brilliant.
If people were thinking about renting their car through EV, and that's probably the only company I'd recommend, I'd probably say if you've got the time and you don't mind washing the car before it goes out and taking it to someone, then yeah, certainly try it out. You can also stop it at any time, so it's pretty easy to start and stop. You can turn it on and off any time. You can hold it for days that you want to use it privately. So it's a pretty flexible system, and yeah, if you've got enough time and you don't mind other people driving your car, then yeah, I think it's a great system to use. As an owner, I get about $200 per day net out of the rental of the car. And that over time really adds up and takes away, I suppose, the cost to maintain the car and the depreciation. And that was one of the reasons I listed it for rental here in Australia on the Gold Coast and in Brisbane. Certainly, it's been easy for me to rent the car out. People come in and inquire. I can say yes or no to those inquiries. And typically I just say yes because it's available on the calendar. Sometimes I'll take the car to the client, and sometimes they will come here and take the car from here. Overall, it's been a fantastic experience, and I certainly recommend others to use the ev.ee.com.au platform and give it a try. You can cancel any time you want, so I suppose because there's no membership fees or upfront costs, it makes it very easy for owners, and that's the way it should be. It's also listed, I think, the highest in Google, so when people are looking for a Tesla, it's very easy for them to find and get to your car and rent it out. From a renter's perspective, it's I think about a 5-step process, and yeah, I've never had any complaints about the rental process itself.
Yeah, so there are a few things that Ben touched on here. Yeah, the rental process, we obviously do screen the renters for the security. We do charge security deposits as well, and obviously we do provide the insurance, so you know, the owners are safe, and this is a specialized insurance for car rental purposes. You don't need to sign up for this insurance to just lease the car, but once you receive the first rental, you have to do this just to make sure that you are protected as well as the renters. But we send you the details as soon as we can. Yeah, Ben also mentioned about the delivery of the vehicle, so this is optional for the owners. You can either choose to only hand over your vehicle at a certain location, and you don't need to share your personal address explicitly if you don't want to. You can choose a location just in the suburb somewhere if you're a bit mindful of that. Or you can choose to deliver the vehicle, whether it's airport or within a certain radius, for an additional fee as well.
What's the furthest someone's delivered their car to a client?
Look, we've obviously we did a lot of driving in the early days in 2016, but practically taking the car to Canberra if someone was renting there. I mean,
here?
yeah,
From
from
Sydney?
here, yeah.
Wow.
So it's not, but within the radius, you know, as far as Blacktown, I think we had customers there. So
I suppose I listed my car because I wanted others to experience the same thing I'd been able to with the car, and that is all the great technology inside it, the safety features and all those other things. Typically people who rent it are those who are looking to buy a Tesla or are on holiday and just wanting to rent one and have a new experience for a couple of days or a couple of weeks. Everyone who's rented has loved the experience. I've had a lot of great testimonials coming back talking about the car, and yeah, I made it easy for them. So yeah, I think they had a great experience using it.
What a great testimony from Ben.
yeah. And I think, yeah, he touched on a very interesting point about the kids. I just wanted a bit of a side comment, but I remember my partner was driving the Tesla, and she had these kids from across the road screaming, and she couldn't understand what they were saying. Then she pulled down the window, and they were like, "What is it like? Leave it in the future." But it's just, yeah, the next generation are certainly much more aware of Tesla and electric vehicles.
So
in general.
true,
Yeah.
absolutely. I've had kids stand up and clap as I was driving
really?
down the street. It was quite an experience.
That's amazing.
But you're right, it's the kids and the teenagers who really appreciate the technology. All right, Slav, well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
You've got some very happy customers there, I must say, so thank you for that.
Oh, look, if you are thinking of joining EV, just reach out. We're happy to answer any of your questions. If you're wanting to rent one or try one as well, very easy to find on Google, like Ben said. So yeah, reach out.
Fantastic. Website again?
ev.com.au.
Slava, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Tom.